Much like last year with Pokemon Legends Arceus, there is a game that came out this year that was something that I've been waiting for my entire life to exist. And not only does it exist now, but it actually is amazing too. I have always wanted a great Harry Potter game, and Hogwarts Legacy gave us Harry Potter fans exactly that. My wife Tiff is usually good for a few games a year that she gets excited about playing, and this was the first one this year in February. Games get a bump in my rankings if they're games that both her and I love, because we end up playing all of it side by side together. Getting to share my favorite hobby with her is so important to me, especially when it also crosses over with our love of Harry Potter. Let's get into some of the details of the game itself. What is Hogwarts Legacy? In short, it's an open world Harry Potter game that takes place 100 years before Harry ever shows up to school. You play as a new 5th year student who has suddenly become able to control a mysterious type of magic. Throughout the game, you get caught up on your studies by going to class, interacting with your fellow students, and learning more about this dark mystery of where this power is coming from, and most importantly, who wants to use this power for evil and why. It's really a classic open world game. You have main missions, side missions, overworld activities that are icons on the map that you need to clear off. At its core, it's really that Ubisoft formula of open world games, but for some reason this game specifically, it just works really well. I can see myself having so much to say about this game, so let's take it one piece at a time, starting with the environment you get to play in. The game takes place at Hogwarts, of course, but also on the grounds, surrounding lands, the Forbidden Forest, and even Hogsmeade Village. The first time you walk around Hogwarts genuinely took my breath away. The common rooms are what I want to highlight the most inside the castle. Being a proud Hufflepuff and my wife a proud Ravenclaw, we were so thrilled to see how detailed and full of charm the common rooms were. I honestly wish you had more reasons to be in your common room. You pick up some quests from fellow housemates there, and there are a few items you need to go back for, but it's still gorgeous and makes me want to walk through it, not run, every time I'm there. It's just so well realized, and you can tell the folks at Avalanche Studio are a group of Harry Potter nerds who have also been in love with the franchise since it started. I mentioned how I've been waiting my entire life for like a Harry Potter game like this. I think a huge part of that and why other games have failed is when it comes to massive IPs like that have such rabid fan bases, like your Star Warses, your Marvels, your Disney and stuff like that. Real fans want it to feel as genuine and possible, and we will see through like any sort of corporate bullshit that like doesn't truly understand. So this game, you can just tell, is a Harry Potter game made by fans for the fans, and it's just a huge part of why it works so well. The beautiful looks don't stop once you leave the castle though. The rolling hills, the small villages around the world, the Forbidden Forest and Hogsmeade Village are all incredible to explore as well. Some games just nail making indoor areas feel so real and lived in and full of things that make them feel like actual places. Hogwarts Legacy excels in that, and that's all perfect for a Harry Potter world. To take something we all know so well like Hogwarts, and take it 100 years in the past but still make it believable and like somewhere you've always known is so impressive to me. Navigating this world is a blast too, especially once you get access to your broom and even mounts. Exploring every nook and cranny is so rewarding and has tons of collectibles and activities to do, but we will cover those later. The story also sends you through one full year, so all the seasonal changes to the school and environment look so stunning and add to the great vibes. The next thing I want to talk about is the combat, and to do so we have to start with the classes. In Hogwarts Legacy, the way you unlock more spells involves going to different classes and performing certain tasks as your homework to unlock new spells. All of the professors have so much charm and personality. Special shout out to Professor Garlic, how you doing? Keep it moving. The type of spells are broken down by colors, and if someone you are fighting has a yellow shield, for example, you have to hit them with a yellow spell to break that shield before being able to damage them. It's so simple but works really well, especially considering you can fully customize your layouts and have multiple layouts you can switch to on the fly. Each enemy also has a specific spell that when used at the right time will make them take even more damage. You really have to pay attention to who you're fighting, and for me, it all kept me immersed in being a student at Hogwarts. Mastering how to defeat all the enemy types through their weaknesses was so satisfying every time. For example, when fighting a troll, they will do an overhead smash attack with their club. If you dodge it and then use Flipendo, it smashes them in the face with their own club, doing a ton of damage. Each enemy has a spell like this that both makes sense in the context of what is happening, but is also so fun and satisfying to pull off. You can even pursue a questline that teaches you the unforgivable curses, and it's a choice in the game whether or not you want to be someone who uses these curses. It all adds to the role-playing of living out my dream of being a real wizard in the Harry Potter universe. As an open world game, it's important to have fun activities to pursue, and Hogwarts Legacy has those in bunches. There are keys you find around Hogwarts that you follow back to a locked cabinet. There are moon statues you can only collect at night that are scattered around the world. Once you unlock the broom, there are speed trials as well as balloons to pop. My favorite are the Merlin trials, different puzzles that have a variety of styles. Even lockpicking with the Alohomora was some of my favorite lockpicking in any game. There are puzzles involving animal pictures and numbers to find a secret passcode to open these doors. There's even a portion of the game involving fantastic beasts and capturing them to breed for their resources. All of these activities were so much fun to complete, and I found myself going for 100% completion in this game, even when the trophies for some of these activities don't involve doing all of them. I also want to give a special shout out to the Room of Requirement. I normally don't really care about having a customizable living space, but this one was both really fun to play with while also being extremely useful. Every inch of this place, the walls, ceilings, and floors, can be customized by color and style. You can buy plants for extra furniture to help flesh it out too. But the big part is you can make planter stations as well as potion stations to grow your own ingredients and make your own potions. Keeping these stocked up makes it worth stopping by, which lets you see the cool rooms you design more often. You can also make portals to different environments to keep the beasts you have captured, to harvest feathers or furs or other beast parts you can sell. I know a lot of people probably got more obsessed than I did, but I did really enjoy my time playing around with this. Now for the story. Both the main, but especially the side stories, all felt so fun to experience. The main story leads you to a mystery of who wants this ancient power and what their motives are for trying to harvest it. There are certain students at school you befriend who help you in your investigation who also have their own struggles. Out of all these students you meet, I want to give a special shout out to Sebastian Solo's questline from Slytherin. His is by far the most interesting. He's the most in-depth character, I feel like, the most layered character, and just it's so heartbreaking what he's trying to do to help his sister is like the non-spoilery version of what's going on there that he deserves a shout out. As much as I enjoyed the main story, it's the side content that makes open world games special, and especially what makes a Harry Potter game feel like what we have all been waiting for. All the little side adventures you can do with other classmates and helping them pursue different interests they have are what I got lost in the most with this game. There's even a section of the game a few hours in that is actually different depending on what house you are in. It unfortunately is what kept me from pursuing the Platinum Trophy in this game. You have to get to that point with a character in each house, and it's a solid 5 to 6 hours into the game until this mission happens. But it's very cool that they did something like this to make it unique to your house. I didn't write this in my script, but as I was going through this part, you can actually hook up your Pottermore account to have it, like I already knew I was a Hufflepuff, I did that, it automatically put me into Hufflepuff, but you can also just let it do a random sorting ceremony thing. So it's really cool that you can that has that Pottermore account connectivity to the game too. It's really cool. The last aspect of this game that I want to talk about is my favorite part, playing it with Tiff. I know I mentioned earlier that games get moved up my rankings when it's something we can play together, but I really can't stress enough how much fun February of 2023 was with just obsessing over and constantly playing Hogwarts Legacy with Tiff. Games can be great for so many reasons, and much like Arceus last year, this game gave me an experience I have wanted for my entire life, and I got to have it with my favorite person. It's sappy, but it's true. I love this game so thoroughly, and I'm so thankful that it exists. I'm not entirely sure if the numbers are in yet because it's only January 7th as I record this, but I know going into late 2023, Hogwarts Legacy was shaping out to be the first game since I believe 2008 to be the best-selling game in any calendar year that wasn't a Call of Duty or a Rockstar-made game, which is so impressive. Avalanche is almost assuredly working on a Hogwarts Legacy 2 at this point, if that's what it's going to be called. Whatever the next Harry Potter game is, I know they're working on it, and honestly, fingers crossed, some co-op and maybe some Quidditch in this next one. That would be amazing. If you like Harry Potter and video games at all, I probably don't need to tell you to play this game because you've already played it. Apparently over 10 million of us did that this year. I think it was 15 million actually, now that I'm thinking about it. This video game gave me that same feeling that reading the books for the first time had, watching the movies for the first time. Like, it is just such a core part of Harry Potter that honestly, it's like Hogwarts Legacy is so much better than what Fantastic Beasts could have been. Like, this is the true follow-up to the original stuff that we've been waiting for. But I just can't say enough great things about Hogwarts Legacy. Please, please go give it a try.
We leave our legacy in your hands.